Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Criterion Connection. I'm Wade.
And I'm Joe.
And we're here to do another spooky movie for Halloween 2023. It's a new release of the 2001 The Others, which I've always thought was an M. Night Shyamalan movie. I guess I get confused with The Village. But it's not. It stars Nicole Kidman. It's produced by Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise is a producer.
It was that period of time.
Yeah, when they were together. So this is kind of a gothic, supernatural, spooky haunted house story.
Yeah.
Or so you think.
Yeah, this is it's an interesting movie. Because it takes like a lot of the setup that it puts in front of you. Like it takes a lot of setup and then it just completely pulls the rug out from under you by the end.
Oh yes.
It
does it twice.
Yeah.
We'll get into a spoiler section of this because you gotta talk about what happens in it. But it's moody.
Yeah.
It's atmospheric. There's a vibe to it.
It takes place in 1945, near the end of World War II. I believe they say it's in Jersey, which is somewhere. Is it England? They all have English accents, so I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, I'm not really sure either.
I don't know if it's in England or France.
It's in England, I think, yeah.
But there's a lot of really interesting things in this film.
Yeah. Basically, it's Nicole Kidman. She plays Grace, who is a mother of two kids, Nicholas and Anne. Mm-hmm. You'll know their names, trust me. Especially
You'll
Anne.
know that they need to stop talking and not look out the windows and read the Bible.
Yeah, they have photos. They have photosensitivity, so they can't be in the sunlight.
Yeah.
At some point, I thought
they're vampires.
I thought they were going to be vampires. Yeah. At some point, they're not.
It's almost like Near Dark.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not that. There are movies that it pulls from. It seems.
And then there's three caretaker people. Mr. What was his name?
Mr. Tuttle.
Mr. Tuttle. Yeah.
And then there's
Mr. Tuttle.
And there's Lydia.
Yeah, and there's Mills, Mrs. Mills, Mears, something like that.
Yeah.
The old woman.
Yeah.
They come.
The one that speaks for everybody.
Yeah. They show up to help out, and that's the start of the movie.
Well, and you start off with this kind of unsettling nature of it because one of the first things that happens, she goes, "Oh yeah, great, you're here to help us out," and she gives him a tour, and she's like, "Okay, I'm gonna give these keys. There's a new key for every single door of the house, which there's 50."
Yeah.
And she's like, "I'm gonna entrust you with these keys. No more than one door open at a time." Weird, but no more than one door open at a time. It's like they're still kind of moving in, but they're kind of not.
Yeah.
There's a lot of weird stuff going on, but the weirdest thing, the first big reveal happens a few minutes in where Grace realizes that her note to send to the newspaper for the classified ad for the help was never sent.
Yeah.
Or it wasn't printed. And the help just happened to show up.
Yeah.
And the woman explains I was going to get there, and then has an explanation that Grace takes at face value. But there's a lot of really interesting things in the film. It's not the costume design is fine. The set design's pretty interesting because it's a crazy house.
It's a crazy house in a foggy air. Very foggy. Very
super foggy.
Very gothic.
It's got to be England.
Yeah. Oh, it's got to be England. England.
But what's interesting about it is kind of what spoils it later. Because I thought it was going to go in a certain direction.
Yeah.
And it kind of it subverted that and went in a different direction. Which I thought was a little less... It was still interesting, but I thought it was less interesting than where my mind was going.
Okay, well, I think you just want to go right into spoilers.
We could do that.
Let's just dive right into spoilers. So there's a lot of weird things going on, like the curtains are opening, and there's a piano in the room, stuff like that.
And
so
you hear noises all
yeah.
the time, but can't find where they're coming, like who's doing them.
Yeah, so you see this whole, well, first her husband shows up out of nowhere. In the fog, he shows up. That's the first inkling of, like, there's something going on here.
No, I don't think that's the first thing. There's a lot of things.
There's a lot of things that happen, but basically it's revealed that the help are dead. They see a picture of them, like, because back in the olden days, you'd take pictures of corpses just like that, and all three of them are in line. They die of tuberculosis. So
they had worked there before.
So the kids run and hide, and Nicole Kidman's like, "What? You know what? Stay out to all the ghost people. Stay out." And then it's revealed that those three are not the invaders of the house. And she rushes upstairs to find her kids, and she busts open that door, and it's a seance. And it turns out Nicole Kidman and her kids have been dead the entire time.
Yeah, so that's where I was going. Like, so for me, I thought it was going to go in more of a Babadook
But she went crazy.
Yeah, well, not that she went crazy.
Well, she did.
Well, it's not that she went crazy. It's that I thought it was going to be more focused on her grieving her husband, like her seeing the husband in the fog was kind of a way of her kind of coming to terms with it. Like, I thought we were going in that direction because she's struggling as a single mother, relating to her kids and really showing them the love and affection they deserve. Not that she doesn't, it's just I think it's a struggle for her, especially when as things start getting weird in the house, which is very akin to what happens in Babadook. But we go into this like Sixth Sense and Beetlejuicean kind of direction, and that was interesting. But I was like, I kind of wish it was.
Well,
the
luckily
other way.
that was at the end.
Yeah.
Luckily that gets to the end. It doesn't linger on, like, a good example is American Horror Story, the first season, where spoilers. It's like 15 seasons, so whatever. Spoilers. Halfway through, you find out that the family is dead inside the house. Or no, the daughter's dead. Mm-hmm. And that's where the chain... And then you have another 5 episodes where it drags it out. This one's literally like the last 5 minutes, they just reveal that they're dead. And it reveals that she went mad because her husband died and basically killed her kids and killed herself. Suicide. Yeah. So, I mean, that's an interesting twist. I didn't see it coming.
It's very dark for, like...
It's not that the kids are going to be vampires because they couldn't be in front of light.
Yeah. Well, and it all starts to make sense. You know, they can't go into the light. They close the curtains all the time.
There's one moment I thought was a screw up, but after we got into it, it made a little more sense. When she's talking to her husband in the bedroom, she gets into her light nightgown.
Yeah.
And he's sitting on the edge of the bed, and there's a mirror next to her, and he's not in the reflection at all. And you're thinking, okay, it's probably the other side. But even still, you still see his arch of his back. You still see something on that bed. You don't.
Yeah.
And
well, he's like, I figured he was dead.
Yeah, and I'm thinking, like, is she just seeing him?
Yeah, that's what I thought.
It's one of those things, like, but then it's revealed that, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
There's in the beginning, the very first shot of the movie is her screaming in the bed and thinking, was that after she killed herself?
Maybe. It's a really provocative way to end the film. You know, it's akin to a Sixth Sense, where it's just like, oh, like it's just this moment of revelation of what everything's been happening, because throughout the film, you're led to believe that the noises and these, I guess, almost apparitions are ghosts. Like, she doesn't think they're ghosts. Kids think they're ghosts. And she slowly starts coming around to that idea, only to find out it's the other way around.
Yeah.
And
she's like, well, how did this piano get there? Well, because they moved it there.
They moved it.
In the real world.
Is the movie spectacular? No. I wouldn't say so.
It's very slow.
It's a very slow movie, and it's an hour and 45 minutes.
It doesn't really start picking up till about 20 minutes in,
Well,
and then at some point it drags until
Yeah.
they reveal that Mr. Tuttle and all them are dead.
Yeah.
That's where I feel
and that's
like
pretty far in.
yeah, it's like probably the last. It's like 20 minutes left of the movie.
Yeah.
It takes a little while to get to where you need to go.
It's not bad though.
No,
It's not bad at all.
Nicole Kidman puts out a great performance.
Yeah, she's great. She's absolutely great.
The kids were a little annoying, but you know,
They're kids.
yeah, especially Nicholas. Oh my gosh.
But it's pretty.
And you notice when there was a thing I noticed, they kept telling Nicholas, "Don't breathe, stop breathing."
Well, it's not
he
just
gets
him.
suffocated. So
They did the same thing with Anne.
Yeah,
Remember when she has tantrum at dinner early in the movie, and she's like, "Stop breathing," and there's a lot of those like really like interesting breadcrumbs that they threw in there, which is great. I wonder if this film would be better a second time.
that's what I'm thinking. I feel like if you watch it a second time, knowing the twist, the twists,
it would be a great movie for a 2-time watch.
Yeah.
You know, you watch it once, figure out everything that's happening, then rewatch it with that context, and that's what kind of gives Sixth Sense a bit of that power, because you have that built-in. Watch it at least twice.
Yeah. So that's it for our spoiler section. Joe, would you recommend the film to the general audience?
Yeah. I can't wholeheartedly just shout it from the rooftops like, go watch the others. It's a good movie. It's, you know, pretty well. It's well done. There's nothing really outside of the story and setup. There's really nothing that breaks any molds. You know, you have really great performances from Nicole Kidman and the helpers.
Yeah.
But I think it's fine to watch. Like, this is a great, like, see if it's on cable, like, go ahead. But I can't sit here and say that I think this would be one I would convert people into.
Yeah, I mean, I would recommend the film, but I don't think it's going to change your mind. Some movies that we referenced in our spoiler section do it better.
Yeah.
I feel like it was just that craze of that time of just like, ooh, let's
a lot of twists.
Let's pull the rug from under you. But yeah, great performances by Nicole Kidman. Atmosphere is great in this. Yeah. It's a slow burn gothic.
Yeah, it's slow.
It's slow. It's a little too slow. And you know, our producer is behind the camera, and he knows the term slow burn. I'm like, I like slow burns, but there's a point where it's too slow of a burn. It's like an ember. I know this movie. This is my first ever watch of this movie. I know this movie from Scary Movie 3. when they have the scene of like the communion dress and she has a thing and she's like, I'm your daughter or whatever. Yeah. And it's like Michael Jackson underneath it. I remember that.
It's in 3 or 4, yeah.
And I thought that was like from like Signs. So I thought, no, it was not from Signs. And that's why I'm like, oh. That's when I saw the little girl in the dress, I'm like, oh my gosh. Yeah. I saw this in Scary Movie.
Yeah, it's got that. It's like there's elements of like Babadook that we've talked about. Yeah. There's elements of these other films, and like I think Mike Flanagan pulls a lot from this movie too, with like House on The Haunting of Hill House and Bly Manor and all those. Yeah. The Flanagan verse.
Yeah, they did. Not sure about House of Usher yet, but
yeah, I haven't seen that either.
But probably has that. That's our thoughts on the others. Let us know in the comments section below what you think about the others. Is there another movie? Is there any other ghost movies? I think we've done a lot of the Japanese horror. Mm-hmm. Are there any other ghost story movies that are on the Criterion Collection? I'm curious. Let us know in the comments section below. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. And follow us on Instagram, Condish Productions. I think that's it.
Yeah.
So until next time, I'm Wade.
And I'm still Joe.
And we'll see you later.